Welcome back to Fast Market here on the TD Ameritrade Network. It's time to bring in our next guest for our cash tag segment, and that's going to be Andy Swan, co-founder of LikeFolio. Welcome back to the show, Andy.
Thank you.
All right, so we're talking another mega cap tech name here, Amazon. The stock's risen nearly 30% so far this year. It's had a nice rebound. Are you guys seeing data out of LikeFolio that kind of supports this snapback rally that we've seen over the last 4 months?
Yeah, I think the stock is pretty well where it should be. It seems like with all these, what we saw out of Microsoft was very compelling, I think, for Amazon in terms of the cloud business. I actually think Microsoft might be the, kind of in a win-win situation as we go into this Amazon earnings because, Microsoft's already put out there its growth rate in cloud computing. Very, very impressive numbers out of Microsoft. And it really seems to be either stealing market share or the entire group is growing by leaps and bounds. And we're kind of trying to figure out which is which, or if it's a combination of the two and where Amazon fits into that. So I think, overall, we're seeing competitive pressures on Amazon from the cloud side of things, from Microsoft certainly, and from some other providers, but also on the e-commerce side of things. When we look at people talking about utilizing or purchasing Amazon Prime memberships, we see that a significant slippage underway, not just the last quarter, but in the current quarter to date. And we think that is the direct reflection of the myriad of possibilities that people have in terms of where they can buy things from. It's really not just Amazon's world anymore in terms of e-commerce. So, overall, I think Amazon has a twofold challenge going into this earnings call. First, from competitors in the cloud computing space, and especially Microsoft, which is, kind of teaching everybody how to do it once again, just like they did back in the 90s and early 2000s. And then from the e-commerce perspective, the whole world seems to be catching up with Amazon in terms of shipping, ease of use, and all of that. So I think, we'll have to see what Amazon says. Great company long-term, have always liked it, but can they maintain this type of run that they've had recently? I'm not 100% sold on that.
Andy, when I look at these numbers and I read through some of the data on Microsoft or on Amazon and the trends, the old trading phrase that comes into my mind is apply tourniquet, because their expenses are going up at an unbelievably fast rate. They went up $57 billion to $502 billion. Their operating margins are crashing in some of these different, and not only North America, where they're down 5 straight quarters in North America, but they're worse in international, Andy. I mean, everything they do. Their margins in the U.S., North America went from 6.2% in third quarter of 2021 to 2.4%, almost in a straight guide down. This is a company, if they start to lose ground like you hinted to in terms of cloud, if they start to lose ground to Microsoft, this is a company that could really disappoint on earnings, Andy.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think margins are a very fair question, because the entire premise behind an Amazon investment for 20 years was, don't be profitable, reinvest in your business so that once you're the big player, you're the only player in the game, you can reap all of the profits and have huge margins. Well, here we are, Amazon kind of the only player in the game for many years, and they did reap huge rewards from that for a while, but now you start to see margins contract again. It starts to get a little bit concerning, and I do think that Microsoft, the whole AI movement, it's going to bring a bunch of new business to cloud computing. There's absolutely no doubt about that. But the way Microsoft is winning that business has to be concerning to Amazon, because they were the default choice for so long.
Yeah, and Andy, when you guys look at this, as far as happiness goes, I know that's one of the key metrics that you guys look at here. It doesn't seem like the consumer's spending on goods as much as, during the pandemic run-up here. Are you seeing any deterioration in any of those metrics for Amazon?
Yeah, a little bit. I think just overall, the big takeaway for us is Amazon, just from a technology, from a competitive landscape perspective, its dominance has waned considerably. And I'm not even sure that I would call it dominant in terms of its offerings anymore. It's certainly dominant in terms of its market cap and market share in a lot of cases, but that seems to be dwindling because the products, the technology, and the services they put out there simply aren't that much further ahead of the competition as they used to be.
And going into this report, I mean, we've seen these blowout numbers out of Microsoft, out of Meta Platforms last night. What kind of score do you guys have on Amazon?
Yeah, unfortunately, this is one that we're pretty much completely neutral on. I think the more the market rallies today, the higher the expectations get on the heels of that Microsoft blowout. I think the more likely that Amazon is to disappoint. So if you're looking for a directional bias, I'd have to say it's probably to the downside, especially if we can close strong today.
All right, great stuff as always. Great data. Appreciate it, Andy. Have a great day.
Thank you, too.